Meeting of the Recreation and Parks Commission. We have roll call, please. Who's doing it today?
Yes. Commissioner Stolnak?
Present.
Commissioner Lubes is not yet in attendance. Commissioner Cavagnolo?
Present.
Vice Chair Watson?
Present.
Chair Moda?
I am here, thank you.
Thank you.
Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, moving right along to public communication related to city business only. There's a 5-minute limit per person, and we will not go over 30 minutes because I see there might only be 3. First up, anybody in public communication?
Lauren Morita.
Yep, anyway, yep.
Excellent. Hi, my name is Lauren Morita. I'm a longtime resident of El Segundo and the costume designer for the El Segundo Recreation and Parks Youth Drama Program. This program has been a cornerstone of our city, providing a safe, inclusive, and educational space for youth to learn and grow. To maintain the quality and impact of this program, proper resources are essential, and that includes storage. 40 years ago, the clubhouse was specifically renovated to create storage for the arts program, recognizing the importance of drama and the community need for art. Since then, the clubhouse has not been updated to meet evolving needs, but we've relied on this storage to keep our program running successfully. The proposal to repurpose the space for event materials undermines not only the drama program, but all the programs that rely on the facility. Decades of costumes, props, and scenery are reused to save money and maintain quality productions, and losing this space would create inefficiencies and unnecessary challenges. This issue also reflects broader concerns about recent decisions that seem to prioritize narrow agendas over the needs of the community. I urge the council to protect this essential resource and ensure decisions support all programs equally. These issues are further compounded by a broader concern. Rec Park management has shifted significantly in recent years. Communication has been very difficult, contracts have been delayed, and payments and reimbursements after shows take far too long. In the past, we felt supported, but now the lack of structure makes it harder to plan productions, retain talented staff, and keep things running smoothly. Adding the loss of storage to these ongoing issues threatens the sustainability of our program. I urge the council to consider the bigger picture. Renovating the clubhouse and investing in proper storage solutions benefits all programs and ensures the long-term success of the community we serve. Let's prioritize resources and support the programs that bring joy and connection to El Segundo. As for me, I've been a part of this program since I was 5 years old. It inspired me to pursue a career in theater, from earning a bachelor's degree in drama from the University of Irvine, to performing at Disneyland, touring with Young Americans, and even pursuing Broadway in New York. Despite all of that, I returned to give back to this program that gave me so much. Thank you, and happy holidays.
Thank you, Lauren. Anyone else? Seeing none, we'll close public communications. And Allie, would you like to respond?
I don't have anything new to add since the last time we spoke on this issue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We're going to go to the consent calendar. Recreation and Parks Commission regular meeting minutes from November 20th, 2024. Anyone?
I motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's 4 and 1 abstain. Thank you. There's no unfinished business tonight. New business, employee spotlight, class of 2024.
Yes, Honorable Chair and members of the Commission, just wanted to provide a quick review of the fantastic employees that we were able to highlight in the past year. We selected several employees based on their contributions to the department, their attitude, their flexibility, their openness to new ideas and ways of doing business. These folks are all selected by their peers, so all of the management team and supervisory employees, we get together and we discuss who we think should be nominated each month, and then we make a decision based on the different criteria that each person brings to the table. And we have a wide variety of staff that have just done a tremendous job in the past year. So again, I just wanted to highlight each of these employees and congratulate them for their accomplishments in the department.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions?
They're awesome.
Everyone.
Yes.
So thank you for that, and that is a receive and file.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That was number 2. Number 3, Directory Advisory Group, DAG, introduction.
Yes, Honorable Chair, I spoke briefly about this at the last meeting, or it might have been the meeting before, but I did want to let the commission know that I formed an advisory group made up of different employees in the department, all levels, part-time all the way up to supervisory, to basically assist me in evaluating the department, the priorities for staff, what sort of resources they need, what sort of questions they may have about different decisions that are being made in the city. And it really gives me an opportunity to hear about each of their experiences, because obviously I work day to day with the supervisors and managers. I don't get to see some of the other folks quite as often. So I selected a group of employees with some feedback from my staff who have shown just really positive attitudes in the workplace consistently, even when there's challenges. These are folks whose peers rely on them to assist in whatever tasks are needed. And this has just been a really phenomenal group of employees, and they are going to be coming to the January meeting of the commission and presenting an overview of our recent strategic planning session. So you will get to meet all of them at that point, but I did want to just provide that brief introduction of this group and just share with you that we have been meeting and it's going very well, and we're really excited about the progress.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
And that is also a receive and file.
Yes.
Okay, drama storage update. And
Last meeting.
that's another one for
Yes.
you.
So as chair, as you and the vice chair and all the commissioners are aware, this has been something that we've been working with the drama program since July. And just to give a brief kind of overview, this really started because I started noticing that all of the staff offices, not all of them, but a majority of them, and community rooms in the Joslin Center were becoming storage facilities for equipment and supplies for a variety of programs. And so I directed the staff to start beginning an organization and cleanup process for safety purposes, really, but also so that we could get a good inventory of what we have in the department, because we do have over 200 programs that we operate throughout the year, from one-day events to ongoing events to day camps to senior programs to teen programs to preschool programs, and all of these programs require equipment and supplies. So it's important that we have those items stored efficiently in a centralized location where we can easily inventory them, so that we are reducing the amount of time we're spending looking for these things, and also making sure we're not replicating and purchasing things over and over again. So that's really where this started. And at the time I met with my supervisory staff, 4 supervisory staff that have all worked at the clubhouse, and all of them indicated that the ideal location for a centralized storage would be at the clubhouse. That's the only facility that has a significant storage space, if you will, one big room. There are some very small areas at Joslin Center. There's a very small closet at the teen center, and this really is the only facility that has the sort of space we need to have all of our things in a centralized location. So with that in mind, I met with the drama contractor. Her name is Natalie Kahn, and we spoke about the need for this move. There was some concern, she had some concerns about the storage space. I think particularly making sure there was going to be enough. If we moved them to another location in the building, would there be enough space? I think they wanted to make sure that their costumes and props were going to be safe and protected from the elements, et cetera. So we have had conversations ongoing since that point. So we're 6 months, maybe, I think we're going on. We've had several meetings with different people in the program. There seems to be different people jumping in at all different points, which is a little challenging, a little confusing for staff, because I'm not sure the message is being shared with the group as a whole, because I get questions and emails about different things. But we've continued to talk with them, and on Friday morning, Manager Palmer and Supervisor Green met with 2 of the members of the Drama Booster Club. And from what I heard, I got a phone call afterwards, said everything's great, they're happy, high fives, we're moving forward. So that was the last I've heard. The staff have been over there cleaning out. We've installed shelving. They're installing film on all of the windows to make sure the sunlight that comes in the room doesn't damage anything. They've already started moving some of the more sturdy props, like their chairs and things like that, out to the sheds. Those have all been cleaned out. So as far as I'm concerned, the move is going well. This has come before the city council also, and I've not received any direction from the city council to change the plan that we've got. So we're going to move forward.
Anything else?
I have nothing else.
Any comments? Thank you. It's a staff decision.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that is a receive and file.
Yes.
Okay, Field Allocation Review Working Group. Recommendation, fill 1 vacancy on the Field Allocation Review Working Group.
Yes, Honorable Chair, so in March of 2024, we did form a subcommittee to take a look at the field allocation policy guidelines, which you're all familiar with. And we did so at that time. We made some revisions and we took the document to the City Council. The City Council had some additional feedback, particularly in regards to the priority use, because we've had a couple of unique challenges present themselves in the last year with new organizations wanting to come in and utilize field space and displacing some long-term users, which caused a little bit of a headache. So they basically asked us to take a deeper dive and look at what other cities are doing. There are a variety of ways that cities handle this based on not just registered residents, but also how big is the program, allocating space based on that size, based on primary season, based on is there a similar sport being offered in the community? If not, that sport's prioritized for use at the city. So just a variety of factors for us to look at. And we did have a couple of members on that committee, and one of them, Jeanette Gant, has left and relocated. So we are looking to replace her to have a second person on this committee to assist us as we begin taking that deeper dive look in January 2025. So we're open for nominations, or if anybody...
I am currently on that.
You are, correct.
Okay, so, anyone interested? Kelly?
Only because I think it aligns well with what we're doing at
Yeah.
Lunch, and
Yes.
I think looking at facilities from a whole
Kind of goes along.
is desirable, and I also have a lot of experience as a user of facilities in trying to navigate the booking system and, you know, trying to balance various stakeholder interests with respect to campus. So I would love to. I appreciate that, you know, I do come from a soccer lens, but I am not here to represent soccer in my capacity on this commission. So while I have that experience, I, you know, think I do have a broader sort of perspective, especially now that I'm not really on the board of soccer anymore, onto how to balance the interests. But I do passionately believe that we have, you know, we need to think holistically. We need to think to the future and recognize that field space is a finite resource that is increasingly in demand. And
Right.
unless we're going to increase the amount of field space available, we're going to continue to have these issues. So that is my desire, but
Okay.
I'm open to the commission's.
I
Anyone?
nominate Kelly Watson.
Is there a second? Any discussion or any other nomination? Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Tough one, 5-0.
Did we come out, is there a new, there isn't a new field use
No.
allocation policy?
No, the policy.
That's the job.
that-
That's the job.
That's the
We
job.
brought one.
April to now, we're
Yeah,
still.
we're still-
We brought one, but then we violated it and we never got it passed.
Right.
So the fact that it really didn't encompass this issue.
Right.
Is why they've sent it back and said, okay, roll up your sleeves, you've clearly not got enough done.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
think, one of the things we did is we put a catch-all in there that the director could make
Yeah.
exceptions, but that really caused a huge issue. Because I did make an exception based on what I thought the council would support, and it just was a nightmare. Upset everybody.
I think what the council suggested.
So, yes, so.
I'm going to leave it at that point. I'm sorry
So
to
now,
interrupt.
yeah, no. So now we will come up with either a more, something that will address those situations, or the caveat will be that it comes before the commission, and you guys can be the good guys and bad
Okay.
guys.
So
Yes,
we've got that one.
yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, reports, Recreation Parks and Library Director. You're up first now.
Yes, so I've
Okay.
already spoken enough this
Yep.
evening. You have my report before you. One of the things that we're doing is trying to provide as much information as possible for the commission. I know that it's a little bit lengthy, but I feel like this provides a really good picture of what's going on. We're going to continue to make adjustments, particularly in the category of our contract class program, what sort of revenue they're bringing in versus the cost to host the programs. I think this has come up recently, in this particular instance with drama, where I think the community and the council and commission really need to understand the resources that are being allocated for every program. And then at the commission and council level, there can be policy decisions about what we want to prioritize.
Any comments or questions?
Yeah, the last time we talked about this, this list did not include facilities that were not yet being investigated.
Correct.
But there are a couple on here like Candy Cane that I don't think has been investigated, or is this to imply that it's been investigated and there's nothing wrong?
Yes.
Ah,
Well, let me ask Christopher. Christopher, they're talking about the park inspection matrix.
What's the question?
well, there are some facilities not on here like Campus El Segundo. But I was told when I brought it up last time that that was because it had not been looked at yet. But there are a couple on here that don't have anything beside them, so it doesn't look like they've been looked at yet, but they're at least on the list. So I'm wondering, what is the cadence, and like, when will somebody investigate Campus?
Well, that'll be coming up here fairly soon. We've been busy with holiday events the last few weeks.
So we're talking next year.
Well, yes.
Well,
I'm trying to be a little funny
Yes.
there, just a little.
most likely.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
They all need, yeah, they will all be added to the list. And on that note, Commissioner actually went out and did Chelsea Doze went out and did a park inspection today of campus. There were a couple of issues I sent over to Christopher and Parkwood. So I personally go out and do parks
Okay.
once every other week. And I try and get at least 3 done myself just to keep my own eyes, and then Christopher and his team as well.
Okay, just a small follow-up. So I
Yes.
sent, and I need your text because I only have hers, which is why she gets everything.
Yes.
I sent Ally a text showing that the blue lines at campus have become so faded that they're inoperable, and yet we needed them for the finals of soccer the last couple of weeks. And so I got a lot of questions. Every time I show my face at campus, everybody's like, hey.
Yes.
And the blue lines are really faded, so I just wondered if we could
Do
put
we paint those lines, Christopher?
lining
Do
on
we
the
do
list.
that ourselves? I did
Yeah.
bring it to Rachel's attention,
Oh,
and
great.
yes,
Yes, we do that.
okay.
The blue lines are almost non-existent at this point, so they,
Okay.
and I don't know why, if it's just a different kind of paint, because my presumption is that all of the lines get painted at the same time, but the blue ones have just faded right down so that there's
Well, it was
nothing there.
interesting too, because when I started to mention that there were lines that were faded, she said, oh, it's the 12U ones, or she
Yes.
like knew
Oh, so
immediately.
she knew too.
She knew
okay.
immediately, and so she goes, yeah, those ones for some reason are faded and the others aren't, so.
So maybe it's the kind of paint or something. So then again, my next recommendation would be, could we change the paint?
Yes.
So that they don't fade before the end of the season?
Yes, so I think Rachel may have talked to Joseph about it.
Right,
Yeah.
we'll take a look at that. I mean, we typically use the same paint,
For all of them.
but I don't know, maybe the
Yeah.
kids are just running over the lines a lot more
Yeah.
than,
No, it also has to do with UV factor.
Is that the consistency?
the color?
It's the entire line. It's not
UV
like part
factor.
of the line's wiped out, like
Okay.
it's more, it's all the way corner
Yeah.
to corner, you can't see the blue lines.
okay.
And literally parents were saying to me, oh yeah, it's been going on for half the season. And I'm like, okay, but of course they see my face and they say, well, we gotta raise it to you now, but something's up with the blue lines.
Right.
You'll find it
Okay.
with blues, reds. It has
Interesting.
to do with UV.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks, Julie. Yeah, something's up.
We'll get that done.
So then we'll see, like, next meeting, we should see the, we'll have placeholders for everything.
Every park,
Done.
yes,
Okay.
every park will be added.
And we have a 12/18 inspection of campus, so that's
There you
great.
go, yes.
Okay, any other comments or questions for the director? Okay, with that, Recreation Park staff reports. Is there any staff reports?
No, my staff unfortunately were not able to be here this evening.
Okay,
Unless Christopher has anything, I think he has a
Christopher, do you
separate.
have anything?
We're busy.
Why?
And I'm sure you're aware of this. The signage at Main and Imperial had an unveiling yesterday, I believe
Yesterday.
it was.
Good.
So that's a new addition. And then one thing I did want to mention is on the matrix that we have, a lot of them are maintenance type issues. And we are going out with the new RFP for landscape maintenance here,
Okay,
first of the year. So
excellent.
we'll see where that takes us.
Okay,
And I'll take any questions.
Yeah, so I sent Ally, which I think she sent to you, a picture of the sprinkler at Recreation Park that is not working and therefore has created a big puddle, which has therefore created tread marks as people have taken vehicles around it. Some of those vehicle tread marks appear to be Parkwood vehicles that go through the park, because I don't think anybody else is allowed to bring a pickup truck or a vehicle of that size. And so I guess I'm wondering, like, it didn't happen this morning when I walked through that this thing broke, and yet vehicles are sort of driving through this puddle and making it worse. So I'm just wondering, like, what's the process for sprinklers? Is that part of this, or is that a different thing? And then how do we kind of manage that? Because this isn't the first time that
Right.
I've seen these big gouge marks of vehicle tracks
Right.
through a broken sprinkler area that is making it worse.
Is that, I'll call it the east side of the park where there's a,
Yeah.
The path, the cement
yeah,
that goes around,
you know, PD patrols along
yes,
there.
in the evening.
And they've broken sprinkler heads more than once. So
noticed.
that is one of the issues there.
Okay.
But
And I sent it to Christopher, and I think Brent went out and repaired it, or Travis went out and repaired it.
yeah,
Okay, so is that part of this, or is that just, it's gonna happen more frequently than these inspections, and so we just have to, if we see it, report it?
Yeah.
I will say it'll happen on a regular basis, more often than not. Because they do patrol there. I don't know how often they do patrol, but I know we've had numerous sprinkler head breaks along there.
Yeah, it just seemed like, clearly you can see this is a puddle, and clearly driving through it is gonna make it worse, and yet.
Correct. Right.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, I blamed Parkwood then.
is that it?
Yes.
Okay. I just want, I don't want you to miss anything. Are we having issues with underground pipes, water, reclaimed water pipes breaking? It looks like there might be one out on Stevenson Field.
Yes, we did have a break
Yeah.
out there,
Okay.
and it's been repaired.
Same area as last time, or had it moved?
It's in the general.
General vicinity,
Same
okay.
area.
Because,
Again, that's been just a reoccurring.
and is it happening on other fields? Or is it,
We do get some breaks on other
Okay.
fields. Also Imperial Strip, we seem to have regular breaks as well. We've contacted the Water Department, West Basin on, is the pressure fluctuating so much that
Okay.
we're getting breaks? Haven't really got a
got an answer yet?
good answer.
All right.
But,
But
we-
we're actively fixing them. And
we
and
are,
locating
we
them.
are, we are.
Excellent.
One item I was going to update you on was met with a laser grading company on Monday.
Okay.
So we're getting proposals now on that work for all three fields.
All three fields.
Whether we do them all at the same time, we'll have to figure that out. But actually, somebody came out and showed up, and we talked.
Great. Okay.
So,
Thank you.
mhm.
With that, we're going to move to commissioner reports or comments. Mark?
You want me to take aquatic subcommittee, Kelly? Yeah. Yeah, so we had a great aquatic subcommittee meeting. Beach Cities, actually, this is in the director's report as well, but Beach Cities held a meet. They had 900+ swimmers. They had great parking situation, which is wonderful. So everything seemed to go really well. I heard a lot of good things from a lot of parents that were associated with it. I watched the streaming online, which Beach Cities does, which is pretty
Really cool. It was really cool.
yeah. So that was a huge success, and stemming from that, there's also expected to be a water polo tournament hosted at ESAC as well, which is great. So, starting to see more potential for hosting of events at the Aquatic Center, which is exactly what we want. So I'm really excited about all of that. The plunge and the plunge capital project. So we've raised about $1.5 million of the $5 million that we need. I know we're still pushing away. I think people feel pretty good about where we are, based on my understanding, and I'm assuming we will get where we need to go. And on the construction project itself, there have been some change orders, overall around $500K in, additional costs. That's part of the overage budget that we had. So it's well within our overage budget, but, there are overages. And I think that was it. We will get more information about change orders and timing in the aquatic subcommittee meeting going forward as well. So I don't know if you had anything else to add to that, Kelly, but
Just that we're on schedule.
on schedule, yes.
And this is a direct quote. They think they have all the skeletons. Has it?
Yeah, well.
Wrote it down.
Wrote it down.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Lubes?
No comments. Happy holidays.
Happy
Thank you.
holidays.
Okay, Julie?
Just an update on the community, on the annual Christmas Eve dinner will be coming up at the Joslin Center. That will be from 12 to 3 p.m. on Christmas Eve, which is December 24th. That's open to all El Segundo residents, and you need to RSVP to that by calling the Joslin Center. And the RSVPs, if you can do that by tomorrow, because our RSVPs end on 10 o'clock Friday morning. So, and right now we have, I believe, around 70 people attending. We have a lot of community volunteers with the Rotary Club, I think NCL, Interactors, and some people from the community. We have some games going on with prizes, and it's always a fun event.
It's really fun.
So you can come as a volunteer, or you can come for the meal. And so it'll be a great time. And I think everything's moving along.
Yes.
So happy holidays to everybody.
Okay, thank you. Vice Chairperson Watson.
Yeah, just to thank staff for all the fabulous holiday stuff that's going on in town. It's tough to even keep up, and especially for the shuttle, the Candy Cane Lane shuttle.
Yes.
It's funny, we had a transportation meeting and more to come on that, but I was looking back at my notes from 2019, and we were talking about putting in place a shuttle for Candy Cane Lane from the senior center in 2019, and Ally has made that happen. So thank you to Ally.
You're welcome.
And as we got a text on Saturday night, we had,
250 to 300 people
250
rode the shuttle each night.
rode the shuttle, and yeah,
Each
people are
night.
buzzing about it on social media, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Obviously, it was well needed, and
Staff did a great job.
Yeah.
I had the idea and then they pulled it off. They put lights and they gave kids jingle bells and candy canes and they really knocked it out of the park. So I got to
Amazing.
give them the credit for that.
amazing.
They
So
really
Well,
did.
thank all of you for just fabulous,
Yeah.
fabulous work, so.
Thank you.
And happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Okay.
Can I just ask about that, about the
Yes,
shuttle?
sure.
Because I'm in that
Yes.
area. When the people are getting on the shuttle, are you asking whether they're from town or out of town?
No, we are not.
Because I was wondering if you were tracking that to see, so that where we're pulling that from.
No, we are not doing that.
That would have been that would have been an interesting thing.
What was that? The driver counts, yeah, the driver counts. So it's not a staff person, it's the driver from Swoop that just click, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that kind of would have been interesting, because remember, we were talking about that last meeting about how were we going to be getting it out to the people that weren't residents
Yes.
to ride the shuttle, you know, and to get the word out there. But I would have to say that I don't think it has been as bad this year.
Good.
I know I did contact you
Good.
about getting more trash receptacles on the
Yes.
1200
Yep.
block, which they have come out, but I don't think it has been as bad parking-wise.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And
Yeah.
we'll continue, you know, we're gonna, with some pilot, so next year we've talked about expanding it, other stops. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. I want to thank staff, all of staff, for everything that you do. Christopher, Chelsea, thank you for everything you do for us. And it's great to be able to communicate with them and get something and get an answer. So that's really good. I also want to thank Carol Pertzik for 8 years on the council, and she really did push and ask for more input from the commission. And so I really appreciate everything she's done for the city. And Ally, thank you. It's been a little rough, but for everything you do and keeping an open mind, and thank you very much. And then Merry Christmas to everyone, and let's have a Happy New Year.
Yes.
Thank you.